All right, we are live on the Coach Eli television network. Welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the late night with Coach Eli edition. Yes, I had the energy to do a late night with Coach Eli show because I have a great topic here to discuss tonight. It's about me and some very personal stories I've never shared before. So if you're here watching live, enjoy the show. Feel free to chat in the chat, whether you're on YouTube, Facebook, or D Live. But if you're watching on the replay, don't worry. This is going to have tremendous replay value. Watch the whole thing through and comment in the comments section. Let me know what you think, and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Lots of great things are happening here on Coach Eli's channel on YouTube and the Coach Eli Television Network. We're pumping out the content unlike anything you've seen before, and there's lots more coming. I'll explain more in just a few here. But before we get to all of that, I just want to make sure that the notification on YouTube went out, and it did. And let me just quickly make sure that the back end of all three platforms are rolling smoothly. And it looks like they are. All right, let's get right to it because I've got some stories to share with you folks tonight. And these are stories that I've never shared before. There's a reason why I haven't shared them. It's not that I'm a big sissy and don't want to share my personal stuff. I have nothing to hide. I'm a very open and transparent guy. But there is a reason, and I will get to that and the topic in just a second here. But before I get to that, I just want to update you folks that there's a great video coming tomorrow that I did a few days ago. I mentioned it on my stream earlier in case you didn't see that stream. I did a great 54-minute pre-recorded Walking with Purpose stream in 4K at 60 frames per second. I uploaded it on YouTube. Jesus, what time was it? I'd say about 3 o'clock or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. And now it is 12 hours later, and only the standard definition 360p has finished processing. When you upload a 4K video, it takes a lot longer to even process the 1080p because when you upload 4K, YouTube uses their best codec, which is known as VP9, to give the best quality. And it just takes a lot longer to even process the 1080p. So the 1080p hasn't even finished processing. That'll hopefully be done by the time this stream ends. And then the 4K has to process, which may take another, 8 to 10 hours. So I'm hoping that the video is completely processed in 4K at 60 frames per second, which is what I'm trying to say, by some point tomorrow, late morning or early afternoon, and then I will publish that video. I will not be doing a premiere video. I haven't really done that many premieres lately. On YouTube, you can premiere videos where you have a live chat the first time your video is premiered or shown or published. And it's the same thing like a live stream, but with a pre-recorded video. If you're a monetized channel like mine, Super Chat's available. You can receive Super Chats and Super Stickers. And, you can chat in the chat with your fans while your video is being premiered. But at this point right now, I just don't really have the time to do the premieres, and I'm still trying to build a little bit more of an active following before I start doing those and they become more feasible. So it'll be published as a regular video, hopefully by no later than tomorrow evening. Hopefully, maybe a little bit sooner, depending on how long it takes to process the entire video in 4K at 60 frames per second. And it's an interesting video regarding digital versus reality. I really broke down how things used to be and how it's affecting us in the modern world, regardless of the generation that we're a part of, whether you're Gen X or baby boomers, which were born before this high-tech digital boom happened, Or if you're the millennials, the Gen Yers, and then the post-millennials, the Gen Zers, the I generation, if you're Gen Y or Gen Z, you were practically born into this environment already. So, it's like you don't know what happened before that. You don't know how things were before that. So we are in the middle of one of the biggest generation gaps in the history of our of our world. It's like the boomers, the baby boomers, known as the boomers, and Gen Xers versus the millennials and the I generation versus the Gen Y and Gen Zers, right? And I don't want to make it a competition, but that's what it seems to be like. So anyway, I just interesting to me. I just felt like my ear popped. It was interesting. Okay. Huh. Yeah, I've had a little bit of clogged ear syndrome lately, and when you have a little bit of a minor cold or you have allergies like I do, and this year's been a bad allergy season, you're more prone to clogged ears, and then all of a sudden, out of the blue, even when you're on the air, poof, you hear this poof, and it's like, okay, I can hear clearly now. Yeah. Not I can see clearly now, like the song actually is. I can hear clearly now, right? You've had clogged ear syndrome, and both your ears clogged at the same time, and you have reduced hearing. It's a pain in the butt to go out and socialize and interact. It's like, say that again? Anyway, so that is that. Another thing, I have another great topic I'm going to be discussing tomorrow. I'm more than likely going to do it in a Walking with Purpose stream from a different location than Red Morton Park. Either that or from the studio, but I'll probably do it while I'm on a walk in a Walking with Purpose live edition. Or, geez, I may actually even do that one in 4K at 60 frames per second, then do it pre-recorded, and it may take a few days to come out. I'll figure it out. But nevertheless, I'm going to be doing a topic that many people have struggled with. And that topic, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to title it yet, but it's going to be to this extent. Can a guy be friends with a woman for a long time, just be friends, platonic friends, cool friends, and then later on down the road, is there a possibility for them to get into a romantic relationship and it actually work, right? Because I've preached this before and saw many other coaches. Like, if you're friends with a woman, it's platonic, it's never ever going to go anywhere. Because typically, you put yourself in that situation. But I'll give you a little clue on how this is going to go, okay? There's a difference between, as a man, having many options with women and then having women as friends, right? And even if you think those women are cute, you've been good friends with them, maybe you work with them in some capacity in the business world, right? And you don't want to mix business with pleasure. But let's say down the road, you're no longer working in that business capacity. You're still friends and you reunite. And the way you reunite was because the woman is the one that reunited with you and started talking with you, right? You see, guys, you always have to assume that if a woman reaches out to you after a while, let's say you've known a woman for a while and she reaches out to you after a while and she's contacting you and she's investing a lot of time in you, there's a good chance that she has some feelings for you or she's curious to see, if there will ever be a chance for the both of you to be together, right? And I've actually had a couple of those experiences in the past. I've had a couple of experiences and maybe some current ones too. I'm not sure if I'm going to discuss that. If I do, it'll be very subtly because I want to protect the innocent. But it's just interesting. It's very interesting how my experiences have been like with women that have considered me a friend. I've considered them a friend, and we never ever pursued any romantic interest. And I never felt the need to pursue a romantic interest with them. And I never, like I've said in the past, I'll say it again. I've had many opportunities in the workforce when I was working in the corporate world or as an entrepreneur running networking events all over Northern California. I've had many opportunities to date women, right? And I never, ever did it because I never wanted to mix business with pleasure. Because what happens? You go out with a woman, let's say it doesn't work out, then she goes and starts talking smack about you to the entire network, and then it just causes issues you really don't want to deal with. Like I said, let's say you're no longer part of those groups, or you're no longer involved with these women in a business capacity, and you reconnect. Is there a possibility? Sure. And is that something that is worth pursuing, or is that okay to pursue? And if you're going to pursue it, how do you do it? Well, I'll be talking more about that tomorrow, and that's going to be pretty interesting. Good evening, Lewis. How you doing? Well, good morning, actually, Lewis. It's after midnight here now on the West Coast, 12:05 a.m. Pacific time, 3:05 a.m. Eastern time, and 2:05 a.m. Central time in your neck of the woods. Lewis, have you been affected at all by those storms and hurricanes near your area? How are things going for you, bro? If you're in the chat still, let me know. So, with that out of the way, let's get to the topic of tonight's late night stream. The topic is, I've dated 2 women since my ex. Why haven't I talked about it? And my story. One more time. I've dated 2 women since my ex. Why haven't I talked about it? And my story. Well, let's start off with why I haven't talked about it. There are people that have been following me for quite some time on social media, primarily on YouTube, because I've been running my coaching business on YouTube for about 4.5, almost 5 years, between a former channel I used to run called Coach Eli, Uncompromising Business and Personal Relationship Coaching, that I shut down about 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago. And then I came back, I took a 3-month break and started this channel. And I've been running this channel now for about 2.5 years. It'll be 3 years in in December. Lewis says, no issues in your neck of the woods. That's good, Lewis. And you're doing pretty good. That's nice to hear, bro. Glad you're here to moderate a little bit, bro, even though we probably won't need it. Got good security on this channel, but thank you for being here, bro. Right? So, I lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah. I was talking about, how long I've been on YouTube. And the reason why I was sharing that is because I was dating a woman, one of the most amazing women I've ever come across. Was the best relationship I've had to date. And most of you know about this woman. She's been publicly out here, so I mentioned her first name, no problem, Dana, right? And I had Dana do videos with me on my channel. And her and I had great, unbelievable, undeniable chemistry on the camera. And what you saw on camera is exactly how we were like in real life. We had a lot of fun together. We went hiking quite often. We took many weekend getaway trips all over northern and central California. We went to places like Mount Shasta a couple of times. We even went to when we were in Shasta, the Oregon border is about an hour north, about 60 miles north. and we even went to Oregon. Ashland is right at the border, and then I think we went to even as far north as Medford. Now Portland is way further up, but yeah, we had some really good times, and wherever we went, we also took videos, and we did live streams. Sometimes we did a live stream from Mount Shasta, our nice hotel room, the first time we went there, and it was just a wonderful relationship. But what ended up happening, we came across some people. It was one or two people in particular that they'd start to talk smack about us, and we kind of shared our feedback in return because, hey, they talked about us, we responded, we shared how we felt about them, right? And okay, that was all, fun and good, well and good, however you want to say it, right? But that's not where these people stop. What these people will do, instead of keeping it on YouTube and having, a back and forth every now and then, doing a response or reaction video, these people ended up taking it into real life. They ended up looking up our information online because we put our real name out there and we showed our face. Unlike what most people don't do, we put our name and our face out there. We're public figures, right? But we never had any idea what doing that was going to cost us, right? We never had any idea that these people would do what they did. We were both inexperienced in dealing with internet trolls and haters and stalkers and all that type of stuff, and harassers and all that type of stuff, right? And it ended up getting to the point of where there was no way out of this. I mean, the only way that there might have been a chance for myself to work something out with this woman was to leave YouTube. And I did not leave YouTube because no matter how much I love and care for a woman, no matter how much I enjoy being with her, how real it is, I will never sacrifice my purpose as a man and what I enjoy doing just to make it work for a woman. Now, I'm not saying that is what my ex told me to do. She never told me to do that. But because of the harassment this was causing her family, her kids, and the harassment it was causing me, and how, at times it would affect our relationship, she strongly suggested that maybe this is not the right thing for me to do. But I kept moving forward. And even when I started ignoring these people, they kept coming at myself, my girlfriend at the time, her kids. They did a lot of crazy things. If I shared everything that they did, we'd be here forever, and I'd probably get my channel shut down because they did things at that crazy of a level, right? So I shared this because I learned my lesson about being a public figure that shows, my face and has my real name, Coach Eli, Elias Melas, Elias Melas. That's my name. People can look me up. They can run background checks on me. They can find out whatever they want to find out, right? And there's nothing wrong with doing a background check on somebody. It's perfectly legal, right? But to use that background check with malice intent, like many drama creators do out here on YouTube, on the YouTube side of things, they use that to create cringy content, entertaining content for an audience that likes that kind of thing, right? Right? And they do it for the lulz, right? And it's actually it is technically considered harassment, and it's a privacy issue, and doing that is against the law. But try to fight it with the law, call the police and report this, and you'll hear the police officer say the same thing to you that they said to me when I called one time. This is a YouTube beef. You just need to ignore them. This is something that, man, I can't even write a report on this because the sergeant back at the station won't accept this. We see this happening all the time. You just have to ignore it and do your thing and, blah, blah, blah. Right? At that point, when it got to that point of, having called the police and, reporting this and them not willing to do anything about it and them saying it's a YouTube beef, at that point I realized that these people that create this type of content already know that. And they play the system, they skate the line, they ride the line, they know how to push things right up to the line to entertain their audience and to get you to think that they're going to cross the line. So that way they trigger you and get a reaction from you and have continuous content, made out of you at your expense. So I had to learn that, right? So when I say in the title of this stream, why I haven't talked about the 2 women I've dated since my ex, that's the reason why, right? But I started thinking today, some time has passed. I've learned how to better handle myself out here on YouTube. I've learned how to deal with the trolls and haters, pretty much ignore everything they say or do. I mean, they're still coming at me all day, every day, but I just don't pay attention to them, right? And if I see any of their comments and stuff, which I rarely do because I don't go out looking for it anymore, if I come across it, I'm like, oh man, whatever. See ya. I'm out. I got better things to do, right? I don't let it get to me. I don't respond to it. Right now, I'm sharing this, in a general way because it's part of my story on why I haven't, talked about these 2 women that I've dated since my ex. But I've been really wanting to share these stories because I just want to get it off my chest, and I want to share with you guys these 2 experiences where I did absolutely nothing wrong, and both of these women, they walked away from the relationship and didn't get any closure. One of them ghosted me, kind of semi-ghosted me. The other one just walked out after a year. Never did anything wrong at all. Wasn't overbearing to either one of them. I wasn't overbearing. I was a good guy. I'd take them out. We'd go on weekend getaway trips. We'd do all that kind of stuff. And I'll share more about these stories in detail in just a little bit here. I didn't suck up to them. They would always text me first in the morning. How you doing today? Have a good day. I look forward to talking to you tonight by phone. And both of them would always look forward to seeing me on the weekends because they were both off on the weekends, right? So I wanted to share these stories because as a guy nowadays in the modern world, you can do everything right. You can just be yourself, not be pushy, not be needy, not overly call or text these women. Heck, I never did call or text them. They would text me. I'm not saying I never text them first. Every so often I did, but literally like 80 to 90% of the time, both these women were calling and texting me, saying that they wanted to see me, they wanted to hang out, they look forward to going hiking this weekend. Both of them liked hiking. They like weekend getaway trips, blah, blah, blah. And yes, I will say this. I will let you guys know if there was intimacy involved in these relationships because, and I'll share some more details that some people have been following me for a while were probably assuming, and maybe you were assuming right, but I wasn't going to give that to you back then, right? But right now, we've moved on, we've moved forward. I've learned to handle this, and I'm no longer with these women, and I'm still not going to tell you who they are, because you guys would still hunt them down these days, or to this day, I mean. But I'll share with you folks if I was intimate with both these women, but you can put 2 and 2 together, right? You can put 2 and 2 together, right? you folks can certainly say that I've learned how to better protect myself online. At least what I can protect. Okay. My name is Elias Melas. You look me up, you'll find my brother, you'll find my mother, any known associates, my aunt. These people have already done that. Okay. But when it comes to, girlfriends and friends and stuff like that, that's not going to come up on a background report. And that's information that these people will only get if you put it out there, or if you mention these people's names, or, they get access to your Facebook, which that's why I had to lock my Facebook down to friends only. I don't even publicly show my friends list anymore. These people were going and seeking they were searching my friends list, right? And it's kind of funny because some of them probably have taken screenshots of my friends list from the past. And it's been interesting. I've been receiving a lot of friend requests from friends I'm already friends with and I've been friends with for years. And I know these people personally. I've been getting a ton of friend requests from cloned accounts. And I have an idea who's doing that. It's these people on YouTube. What they're trying to do is they're trying to get me to accidentally accept one of those friend requests so they can get all of my content I only put available to my friends, right? And here's the thing. I'll tell you this. Even if these guys got access to my Facebook, all this stuff, like regarding like women I've dated and stuff, or anything that I put out there in the past regarding that, I put that to only me. I put that to private. Not even my friends can see that. So, so if all those postings are not even available to my friends, then why have I locked down my friends list? Because I just don't want these guys cloning accounts any more than they already have, and just reaching out to my friends and harassing them and this and that. You try to minimize it as much as possible, right? Now, give me a second here. Let me check out. We're at 27 minutes here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take an early break. I was going to do this in a couple of parts, but I already need to use the restroom for certain reasons. I mentioned the other day, I think it was yesterday, why I had a couple of panic attacks, and it was because of apple cider vinegar, which I'm no longer drinking. But that stuff stays in your system for several days before it clears out, and until it clears out, I'm going to be peeing more often than normal. So I'm going to step away and take a quick break. And when I get back, I'm going to share the two stories. It'll probably take about a half an hour to 45 minutes max to share the two stories. When did I meet these women? How did I meet these women? And what actually happened? Right? Now, I'm not going to sit there and tell you folks every intimate detail and stuff like that, but I'm going to share with you folks. Hey, SIF USMO, how have you been, brother? It's been a while. What's been going on, dude? Are you still putting out videos? I haven't noticed you putting out any videos lately. Let me check out your channel and see. Dude, the last time, you put one out 23 hours ago. You streamed a day ago. I got to go back and check out your stuff, bro. It's been a while. But thank you for being here, bro. Hey, listen, dude, I've totally moved on from any and all drama, and it's been like that for a while, and I'm looking to work much more closely. Eli, I'd like you to come on show sometime. Oh, on your show? I was just going to ask you the same thing, bro. Yeah, dude, SIF USMO. Let me know when you want to do it, bro. I've got a lot of flexibility. I've just been cranking out a lot of my own content lately. Let me know in the chat, bro. What are you interested in talking about? I'm open to talking about whatever, bro. As a life coach, we can talk about anything. Business stuff, personal stuff, whatever you want, dude. this is exactly the type of stuff I want to do, bro. I've always done this in the past. And there's another lady I'm going to be interviewing soon. I believe I mentioned that earlier on my previous stream, but in case I forgot, I'm also going to be, I don't think I did mention, let me mention it now. I'm also going to be interviewing, Lauren Axelrod from the Real Talk with Lauren channel. And that's going to happen sometime either before the end of this week or sometime next week. And then I'm probably going to go, on her channel as well too. And we're going to be doing a lot of collaborating. I appreciate that, bro. I like your dating advice. No, dude, I've done a lot of work on myself. I've had a lot of personal experience, bro. But I've also read a lot of books, followed a lot of other coaches. And I'll tell you, bro, this modern world that we live in is unlike anything we've ever experienced. And it changes daily, bro. Like, you can learn everything there is to know about, helping people in the dating world, right? And you can have your own experience and have lots of those experiences like I do. And it changes every day, bro, to the point of where it even stumps the best of us, right? Now, I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm just saying, when I say the best of us, I mean people that know what they're talking about, right? Like myself, other coaches like Coach Corey Wayne, Coach Dan Bacon, and many others out here, right? It's an interesting world, bro. And I think what we need to do, bro, is, let me read what you said there. I'd like to do a show on your perspective on the cold approach. I think it would be interesting. Yeah, I'm open to talking about that. Yeah, I talked about it on the stream. I believe it was last week. And yeah, no, I'm totally open to it, bro. We can talk about that and many other things. We could do multiple shows, bro. Let me ask you this, dude. Are you on Facebook? Are you on Facebook, bro? If you're on Facebook and you want to send me a friend request, let me put it in the chat. And I'll know it's you because cloned accounts don't have a lot of content on them. But let me get you the link. If you're on Facebook, bro, go there. Facebook.com/Elias Melas 73. Please send me a friend request, bro. And I'll accept you. Trust me, I'm not going to share any of your stuff with trolls and haters, and hopefully you won't do the same thing. But I pretty much locked everything down, even to my friends regarding things I wouldn't want the trolls and haters to get. So, yeah, send me a friend request, bro, on Facebook, and then send me a message through Facebook Messenger. And then I want to connect with you also on Google Chat, which is formerly known as Google Hangouts. And then once we talk, bro, then I will mod you on this channel. I've wanted to do that for a while. I just want to talk with you one time. I know you've been busy, bro. I know you've been busy. I totally get it, bro. But there's a time and a place for everything, dude. There's a time and a place for everything. And when the time is right, things will just happen, bro. Things will just happen. Like I was talking about on my stream earlier today. Let me see if today's stream is still monetized. And we're monetized still. It's a pretty vanilla topic, YouTube. Yeah, earlier today, I was discussing, don't get mad if anything in life doesn't work out. Here's why. Don't get mad if anything in life doesn't work out. You folks missed that stream I did earlier. It's an hour and 1 minute long. I did it from Red Morton Park, Walking with Purpose Live, earlier today. Check it out. Because what I was saying is, don't get mad if anything in life doesn't work out, because you can try again or try other things. And if you carry over that negative energy from 1 or 2 or 3 failures. You're going to keep failing because you're going to go into trying again with negative energy, right? So yeah, if you folks need some more content to view, check that out. There's plenty of content coming. And SIFUSMO, you weren't here earlier, but I'm going to be releasing a very high quality 4K video at 60 frames per second tomorrow. It's about 54 minutes long, that I shot at a walk in the park. It's just taken a long time to process because 4K takes like 12 plus hours to process. So I'll have that out. I'll have that released by tomorrow. So yeah, when you connect with me on Facebook, bro, if I don't get back to you later tonight before I go to bed after I'm done here, I'll get back to you in the morning or in the afternoon tomorrow. If I remember correctly, bro, are you in California also? Are you on the West Coast? Let me know if you're still around, bro. So, all right, folks, we are at 36 minutes. I really have to use the restroom, so I'm going to cue up some royalty-free YouTube music, and I'm going to step away for a quick break. And then when I get back, I'm going to be sharing those 2 stories with as much detail as possible of the 2 women I've dated since my ex. During the first part of the show, I explained why I didn't talk about them. You know, why I didn't mention them, or I may have mentioned them in a roundabout way, which many of the people that have followed me, many of the trolls and haters that have followed me, know what I'm talking about. But hey, I'll come clean. I'll mention it tonight. You know, I want to come clean with people. I never wanted to hide anything. It's just, you know, I had to learn how to deal with things out here on YouTube. And part of regaining the trust of some people and getting new people to trust me is to be transparent. So stick around for that after the break. All right, let's cue up that music, Eli. Cue up that music. Boop, boop, boo. Boo, boo, boo. Boop, boop, boop. Just a couple more. All right, folks. Music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for like an 8 to 10 minute break. Like I said, when we return, we're going to get right to those 2 stories. So stick around, round. We'll be right back. back. We're back, and you know what? Dion, aka SIFUSMO, you were laughing because I went a little crazy on my outro into my break, right, brother? You know what, bro? Glad I gave you a little entertainment in the middle of the night, right? It helps, right? It helps cure the blues, right, brother? Right, man? Shake it all about, man. Shit, I'm going to be 48 years old in December, man, and I still got the groove on, baby. Woo! Because I don't give a fuck what anyone thinks about me, and you shouldn't either. Humbly speaking, that is, right? Woo! Yeah. The song is called Swagger from the YouTube audio library. There's no artist, so I don't know who sings it, but hey, great song. Anyway, let's get right back to it. Yes. All right. Welcome back to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli, the Late Night with Coach Eli edition. Live here on the Coach Eli Television Network, primarily broadcasting live on YouTube at youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. That's youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. We're also simulcasting live on Facebook and D Live. If you're on Facebook and D Live and you want more than just these in-studio live stream simulcasts, you're going to have to come on over to YouTube, subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications, and you won't miss a thing. I've got a lot of content coming that's only going to be available on YouTube, right? I have this great video in 4K at 60 frames per second about to drop tomorrow in the highest quality audio and video you will ever see, okay? And I've got other pre-recorded videos coming. I also have a members-only package. I'm a monetized channel on YouTube, so I have a members-only package. And you can become a member on my channel for as little as $4.99 per month or as much as $99.99 per month. All my packages for channel memberships get you the same exact thing. It's just up to you how much you want to donate to sponsor the channel. I have like 21 pre-recorded members-only videos so far, and I even have 2 members-only live stream replays available, and there will be future members-only live streams and pre-recorded content. So if you want everything for $4.99 per month, you'll get it all. But you'll still get plenty even if you don't become a member. Plus, if you want to donate to sponsor the channel and the business, if you don't want to become a member, you can hit that super chat at the bottom of the YouTube chat, and you can send a super chat or a super sticker in any amount up to $500, I believe. I also have PayPal and Cash App. Nightbot is sharing the links to my PayPal and Cash App, so if you want to sponsor or donate the channel there, and those links are also available. The links to my PayPal and my Cash App are available in the description section of YouTube in all my videos and Facebook as well. Donations are not required, but they are greatly appreciated. But what I appreciate the most is people just getting value from my content and applying the principles that I teach, listening to my stories, and learning from the mistakes I made. So that way, you can make fewer mistakes and, accomplish whatever it is that your heart desires. All right. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. All right. So, tonight, we've been discussing, or this morning, it's overnight, Jesus. The topic is, I've dated 2 women since my ex. Why haven't I talked about it? And my story one more time. I've dated 2 women since my ex. Why I haven't talked about it? And my story, right? You missed the first part of the show, go back, check out the replay. I explained why I haven't talked about it. And now I'm going to talk about it because I'm ready to talk about it. I'm prepared to talk about it. And I know how to handle myself a lot better now on social media because I have more experience, right? When you go through things for the very first time, even the crazy things I went through on YouTube with the trolls and haters, you learn how to manage those things better, right? So you can continue moving forward and sharing your stories that can help other people. That's why I do it. So, let's get right to it. let's get right to it because, and here's the thing, you know, I could care less what the trolls and haters say. I know they're going to probably get the most value out of this. They're going to be like, I knew it. I knew Eli wasn't just hanging out with the activity partner, right? I knew it, right? Is that what they're going to do? They're going to create content out of that I'm not ever going to see or respond to, right? That's what they're going to do, right? I already know what they're going to do because they got nothing better to do. This is what they do. This is what drama people do. But yeah, so let's go back to the timeline of where my ex Dana broke it off with me because of all the crazy stuff that happened on YouTube. That wasn't the only reason why she broke it off with me, but that was the primary reason. Okay, no doubt about it, right? If we go back to August, I believe it was August of 2018. That was 3 years ago. So it recently was the 3-year anniversary of my breakup with Dana. I'm not trying to make a big deal out of it or reminisce or anything like that. I'm just saying it's been 3 years. That's for the timeline, right? That was August of 2018. And this hasn't happened to me in a while. It's happened in the past after a few relationships, but after Dana and I split apart, I had gained about 25 pounds or so, or 30 pounds. And her and I were hiking and we were working out a lot, but we also, man, did her and I just enjoy food? Did we eat? There's a video I may share again at some point. For those of you that don't know, I haven't talked about this in a while. I've re-uploaded my entire library of my former channel on another channel called Coach Eli Classics. Videos from my former channel. And all those videos are either unlisted or they're private. They're not publicly available. I may release some down the road. I've done some streams where I've shared some clips, or maybe I might re-upload parts of those videos, reaction video style, so you folks can see what I'm talking about. There was a video I did on Valentine's Day. And because Dana was such a good woman, and she more than did her part, and she more than deserved to have an elaborate Valentine's Day, I went all out and went to Safeway and spent about $100-something and bought a bunch of food, right? Enough food to literally feed about 12 or 13 people. And it was going to be just her and I and maybe her girls if they were around, but her girls weren't around. Her 2 teenage daughters weren't around. So we invited her parents over. And so we used to eat very well. And here's the thing, folks. You have to understand one thing. Just because you work out and you burn a lot of calories each day, if you eat more calories than you burn, even if you work out, you're still going to gain weight, right? You have to watch your calories. And you can't have cheat meals 6 or 7 days a week like Dana and I used to have because we were working out and we were very active, in other departments too. And it catches up to you, right? So I share that because after, we split up, I was like 30 pounds overweight. I didn't look horrible, but I'm like, I got to get myself back in shape if I'm going to attract another woman, right? And so I can typically lose 30 pounds in about a month and a half to 2 months if I discipline myself, cut my calories back, get on the treadmill for 45 minutes to an hour each day, plus take a walk at the park, 4 laps, which is over 4 miles. That's what it took. And that's what it's taken in the past. So I lost the 30 pounds. And I got back down to about 170 is where my nominal weight is at. Sometimes I go down to 168, 167. Right now, because I've been trying to put on some muscle and stuff, I'm at about 175. Still a good weight with muscle. But yeah, I wanted to lose the weight before putting myself back out there. Plus, I wasn't feeling that great after, we split up, right? When you have, time invested in a woman and you've done all these great things that her and I used to do, it's hard to work through it, right? But here's the only good thing about a breakup. If you gain weight, you typically lose your appetite, right? And when you lose your appetite, you don't eat as much. So if you're working out, 45 minutes to an hour a day on the treadmill, you're taking 4 laps at the park, which is a little over 4 miles. You're burning probably about 700-800 calories on top of what your body burns, right? Which for me, my body burns around 2,000 calories a day doing nothing, right? So when you're burning 2,800 calories a day and you're only eating about 1,000, you're going to lose weight pretty quickly, right? So that's the only good thing about going through a breakup. It's not healthy to not eat, but everybody, when they go through a breakup, you typically go one of two ways. You either lose your appetite or you do what's called emotional eating, right? For me, I've never done the emotional eating. I've always lost my appetite after a breakup. And after I lost the weight, I was still feeling just, I had gotten partially over Dana. But I knew the only way I was really going to get over her is moving on and dating somebody else, right? And they say don't date somebody until you're completely over your ex. But the truth of the matter is this, and I may do a video on this as well. The truth of the matter is this. If until you put yourself out there and move on, you haven't moved on. Part of moving on from your ex and letting her go is going out and dating somebody else. But I wouldn't do it right away. I would take these couple, 2-3 months off like I did and get over it for the most part to the point of where, you can be present, around someone, right? So I met this woman from Match.com, and it was interesting. We were talking on the app, online on the app, and she had told me that she has a pretty busy week, and that she would be free for a phone call. I think, when was I talking with her? It was like a Monday, and she was going to be free to talk on the phone next Sunday. We were talking through the app, and she had given me her number. And so I texted her, so she has my number. And I told her I'll reach out to you on Sunday morning to see if you still want to chat. Oh, absolutely, we'll chat, right? I reached out to her the following Sunday. We ended up having a conversation, and then we decided to meet. A couple days later, it was a Tuesday, and it was a work day, and she was free, afterwards. And I said, okay, this woman actually lived near the Berkeley area, the Berkeley, Oakland area, which, by the way, is why I have a picture of the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge there. This is the Bay Bridge, which goes from San Francisco, which way? Let me turn around. Jesus Christ. Over there. There we go. Learn to use the green screen, Eli. Over there is the San Francisco side, and as you start going east, when you get over to the other side, you're in the Berkeley, Oakland area. You're in the East Bay. They call it the San Francisco-Oakland Bay Bridge, right? Now, I actually took San Mateo Bridge to go and see her, but that's because I'm further south in the peninsula. But if you're closer to the San Francisco area, to go to the East Bay, you take the Bay Bridge, which is the beginning of Interstate 80. Interstate 80 goes from San Francisco to New York, and it starts in San Francisco because that's where the coast is at, right? So I set up a date with her, and we were going to have dinner at a Chevy's in our area, which is near the water. I had been to that Chevy's in the past, but I hadn't been there in a while, and she'd never been there. So I thought it'd be a pretty cool first date. We have a nice Mexican dinner at a Chevy's, and it's right by the water, by the east shore of the bay. They call it, and right there where I-80 runs along, that area. They call it the East Shore Freeway because it's the eastern shore of the bay, right? And I went there and I met up with her. And I'll tell you, I went to go, see, I'm a cool guy. I'm laid back. I'm not pushy. I'm not needy. When I got there, she'd gotten the table and she was sitting down, right? And I was like, oh man, she couldn't wait. She got the table. She's one of those really assertive type of women, right? Hold on a second. Lauren just sent me a message. I'm going to tell her. Lauren from the Real Talk with Lauren channel. I'm just letting her know I'm live on the air right now. This is real time, folks. Real time. So yeah, I got to the restaurant and she already had a table there, right? So I went to the table. I'm like, oh boy, I'm hoping that she's not one of those masculine type of women, right? She seemed very feminine. We talked on the phone, right? So I went and sat across from her, right? I sat across from her because that's what you do, right? And she goes, why don't you come over here and sit next to me? You don't have to be so far away. And I was like, in my head, I was like, come again? I was like, okay. So I went and I sat next to her and we were just talking very closely. I'm like, okay, obviously this woman likes me. She liked the conversation we had on the phone. She liked my pictures. She likes what she sees in person. She doesn't want me to sit across from her. She wants me to sit right next to her. All right, that's great, right? So at that point, I was thinking, this is going really well, right? We had our dinner, and then I said, yeah, would you like to just walk on the deck outside a little bit afterwards? We can just talk a little bit more. I'm really enjoying your company. She's like, yeah, no problem, right? And so I had to go and see if she really felt it. And I actually took her, like I said, it's right by the bay, and there's like a walkway by the restaurant where you can walk and you're right by the water. And I just had to take a chance and just try to give her a kiss. I gave her a kiss, and it was great, right? And then we went back to my car. I asked her if she wanted to come in my car, talk a little bit more, and make some plans for the future. And so we made out a little bit more, and then she said she had to get going because she had to work the next day. And I said, so would you like to hang out again? I know you said you enjoy hiking. We can go and do a hike and this and that, right? And she goes, well, I've got a lot of things going on. I've got this new job, and I've got another job that I work part-time too, and this and that, right? But I really want to see you. I'm not going to be free this weekend, but we can hang out the following weekend, right? And I was like, okay. I was a little disappointed. I was like, so we're not going to see each other for what, like 11 days, right? So she left, right? And I'm sitting there in the parking lot. I'm in the East Bay near Berkeley, right? I'm about, I'd say at least 50 minutes, almost an hour away from home. And I sat there in the parking lot, and I'm like, she had me sit next to her. We were making out, and she wants to wait 11 days before seeing me, right? And I'm a patient dude, right? But I'm just not gonna sit there and go on a great date and then not see the woman for 11 freaking days. A lot can happen between, that point and 11 days afterwards, right? Some other guy might get in the picture, right? So I sent her a text and I said, can I call you real quick? I want to talk with you about something that's really important. I know you just left, right? So she's like, yeah. I called her up and I was just honest with her, right? I said, I've been sitting here. I'm still in the parking lot of Chevy's. And look, I'm not trying to say too much and I'm not trying to push things, but I really had a great time with you. I had a great time with you too. I really enjoyed your company and I look forward to seeing you again. And I said, I'll be honest with you. And I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but you're telling me that you're unavailable to hang out again for 11 days. That's quite a long time. And I'm not trying to be needy or pushy. I'm not like that. But, if you really like me and you want this to go somewhere, I mean, you don't have any other time between now and 11 days for us to hang out again. Maybe we can hang out one more time. And then, we can go on a hike 11 days from now, right? So in essence, I was testing her to see how into me is she. Because if she was into me, she would figure something out. And she's like, well, let me see and I'll get back to you tomorrow. Let me see if I can fit something in one of these nights, right? The very next morning on Wednesday, she reaches out to me and says, why don't we do a dinner on Thursday night? I can come out to your area. I said, I'll do one better. I'll come out to the East Bay so you don't have to cross the bridge. I'll cross the bridge. And we can go to this nice restaurant that I'm sure you've never been to. And then we met up. We sat in my car a little bit more. We made out. And the rest is history from there. To make a long story short, and I'm probably going to have to take another break here in a second because this took longer than I thought it would, and I have to use the restroom again. But to make a long story short, this is the woman when I used to come out here on YouTube and say, I'm hanging out, I'm going hiking with my activity partner. Now, I'm sure nobody bought that, right? And I could care less whether people bought it or not. The reason why I called it that is because I didn't want to put this woman in the line of fire just like I put Dana in the line of fire, right? But I'm the kind of guy, as a coach and as a person, and as part of running my channel, I like to share my experiences and I like to share my happiness. And I want to show people that what I teach out here, if you apply it and you're a good person, it actually works, right? But if I have to hold things back because of trolls and haters, and when I say hold things back, those are the things that I teach, right? If I can't share examples of me practicing what I preach, then how can you trust me, right? How can you trust me, right? So I'll just tell you a little bit more. All right, I got to tell you, this is probably going to take another 10, 15 minutes before I go on break. Then I will go on break and come back and share the second story with the second woman I dated since my ex, okay? So the next date, the third date, we actually met up a second time before that 11-day period ended, right? So this woman initially tells me I'll be free in 11 days to go on a hike or something. And because I called her out and I wanted to, I told her, do we need to wait that long? Maybe it wasn't meant to be. I mean, I was just honest with her, right? We saw each other, a third time. And this was the following week on a Monday or Tuesday, I think it was. And she came out to my area. We went to a nice restaurant. And then we actually went to go get frozen yogurt. And then we went to she wanted to go take a drive to see the area. We were in a city called Foster City, which is right by the water here on the peninsula in the San Francisco Bay Area. It's right by the San Mateo Bridge. And, she wanted me to pull over so we could just hang out a little bit and just talk and make out and all that stuff, right? And she had told me we were making out and stuff, and it got a little bit hotter and heavier. And she had told me that she goes, "You want to go to the back seat?" And I'm like, "Why?" She goes, I can't say what she said. I'll get demonetized at the very least. She goes, she wants to, get on top, right? Okay. So that, we were doing things to each other in the front seat, and things were just getting hot and heavy, right? And I really liked her. She was really cool. And at this point, it had taken my mind off of my ex, right? That's why when some people out here in the past that have been following me for a while were saying, I'm not over my ex. I've been over my ex. But I still think she's a good woman to this day, and I'll never think anything bad about her. It just, it is what it is, And so she wanted me. She wanted me sexually in my car. This was the third date. And I wasn't even, typically if I'm not intimate with a woman by the third date, I won't see her again. But, we had made out the first 2 dates, and at some point we knew it was going to happen if we were going to keep, moving forward, so I wasn't concerned about it. The third date, she wanted it to happen in my car, and I'm like, I don't want to do this first in my car. And I told her, I said, because I actually liked her. When I really like someone, I don't want the first time to be in the car. Now, I'm not saying it didn't happen in the car at times after that. If I said that it didn't happen after that in the car at times, I'd be lying to you. I'm going to keep it real, right? But I said, look, you said you're free, this coming weekend. How about we do something special? Let's go away for the weekend. And let's go away and take a hike, get a nice hotel suite, and spend some time together. She goes, you don't want me right now. I said, I want you more than you know. But also, I like you. I respect you. I want this to be a little more special. I know that you're going to leave here sexually frustrated, and maybe I will too. But I want to do this right. Especially after coming off my last relationship and stuff like that, right? And that's the kind of guy I am. Like, a lot of people think I'm this like predator or guy that's, that's out there to get women. No, I'm a good dude. I'm a really good dude. I just want to love someone and be loved. That's it. It's as simple as that, right? So we went away, and it was amazing. The intimacy was great. She loved to hike. We would hike. We'd go to nice dinners. We had great conversations along the way. We were together for a year. She, she introduced me to her family. I introduced her to mine. It was all good, right? And it was great, right? A woman that's really into you is not going to introduce you to her family, right? Keep that in mind, right? Now, there were even a couple of times her mother actually owned a summer home or a vacation home. I'm not going to say exactly where it's at, but it's in the what's that place? Lassen. Is that Mount Lassen? Lassen National Park area. I think it's Mount Lassen. Yeah. Which is a volcano. I think Mount Lassen is, let me see here, is Mount Lassen active? The Lassen area remains volcanically active, and the volcano hazards demonstrated in 1950 can still threaten not only nearby areas, but also more distant communities. Well, I'm glad it wasn't active when we went there because her and I, we went a couple of times over the year we were together to stay at her mother's place. One time her mother was there with a friend, and there were multiple bedrooms in this place. And the other time her and I went up there on our own. And then we went to Mount Lassen nearby, and we took an amazing hike. Mount Lassen, you're already up about 3,000 feet, 3,500 feet, where her mother's summer home is at. But then you enter Mount Lassen National Forest, and I think it's like $30 to enter. It's pretty steep, but it's actually worth it. It's beautiful, right? And then you drive up the mountain. It's a paved road, curvy paved road, right? And you drive up to about almost 8,000 feet, right? And then there's a hiking trail to hike up to the peak of Mount Lassen. Mount Lassen elevation is 10,457 feet. So yeah, 10.5. I remember that, right? Because we started hiking at about 8,000 feet, and we went up to the top about almost 10,500 feet, right? And we tell you, the air is pretty damn thin when you're that high up, right? And when we got to the top, even though it was summertime, because it's so high up, there was still unmelted snow there, right? And we didn't have snowshoes. We didn't expect. We had hiking boots, right? We're going hiking, right? There was a part where we had to cross over a patch of ice, and I slipped on my ass. Let me tell you, that hurt like a mother, right? We got to the top. We sat at the top of Mount Lassen for about a half an hour. We actually had cell coverage up there. It was funny. We took some pictures, and we brought some snacks and just had a really good time, right? I'm sharing this because I want you folks to understand what we did. I did nothing wrong. And when I tell you how this ended, it's probably not going to be a surprise to anyone. And it's not because I'm a bad guy or this and that, right? It has nothing to do with that. I'll tell you what I think it had to do with when we get there. Her and I, we took a lot of weekend getaway trips. We went away at least once or twice each month. The times we didn't go away, there were times where she would come and stay at my place for a while. The intimacy was consistent. She wanted it, I wanted it, but we were happy to be together more than just that. We would have great conversations. She wasn't pushy or needy. I wasn't pushy or needy. She would always reach out to me first. She would always tell me there were times where her mother and father divorced a long time ago, but they're still on friendly terms, and they're both remarried. And her mother lived close by to where I lived, within 20 minutes. She lived in the East Bay, about an hour away. So when she would come to spend time with her mother, she would always say, "Hey, you want to hang out a little bit? I'm going to be in my mother's area, or you want to spend the night together." Now, some people may say, "Oh, she was just using you because she was, in her mother's area." She only did that like 2 or 3 times. She made plenty of special trips just to spend time with me and go hiking and hang out, right? So this has nothing to do with using me or just me being a convenience for her, okay? So you take all of that, and we went on a lot of great extensive hikes, long hikes, 8-10 mile hikes. We did a 15-mile hike in San Jose. I hiked more with this woman than I did with Dana, and Dana loved to hike. Okay. Now, before I take my next break, and then I'll come back and share the final story, let me share with you how this ended. So, her and I, like I said, Dana and I split up in, I believe it was August of 2018. In November of 2018, I got together with this woman that I've called the activity partner, right? And 1 year later, in November of 2019, she had called me up. She wanted to go hiking over the weekend, right? Everything was normal. Nothing wrong. You know, we talked on the phone the night before, a few nights before that. Everything was normal. And she had, I can't remember what it was. She was a little short and didn't have gas money, right? She had never asked me for anything, and she was saying she's short on gas money, so, she's, doesn't know if she should come out or not, right? Now, I don't know if that was an excuse, to try to get out of it. Now I'm probably thinking it was an excuse. Either way, I said, look, why don't you come and meet me at the gas station, and then we'll park your car, and then we'll go and do what we're going to do. We'll go to dinner and take a nice walk, come back to my place, we'll spend the night, we'll go hiking, we'll have our weekend. And she said, okay, sounds good. I feel pretty guilty about that. I'll pay you back. I said, I don't need you to pay me back. $30-$40, take a gas. Not a big deal, right? And it's not a simpish thing to do when you've been with somebody for a long time and they've been consistent. The sex has been good. We've had great conversations. Look, guys, $30 for a tank of gas in that situation is more than justified, okay? I don't care what anyone says, right? I'm not an idiot, all right? Some people may think I'm an idiot, but I'm not an idiot. So, she meets me at the gas station. We then go and we drop off her car. And after we drop off her car, we're heading over to, she was wearing this nice summer dress. And it was turning me on. And we've always been affectionate. As we were driving to go take a walk on the SF Bay Trail, in that area where, we first parked on the third date and we were making out, where she wanted me intimately in the back seat of my car. This was almost a year later. As we were driving there, I put my hand on her thigh. I started rubbing her thigh. She's like, can you just slow it down a little bit? And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I've never heard her say that. Nothing different. I just put my hand on her thigh like I always have when we're driving and stuff. And she's like, can you just slow it down a little bit? I'm like, okay. At that point, I thought she was having a moment. Maybe she wasn't feeling well. Didn't want to read too far into it. We went and we had our walk. And when we were on our walk, she was being a little standoffish. Not a whole lot, but a little standoffish. She just wasn't. It's like she was there, but she wasn't there, right? After that, we went to dinner. Went to dinner at, what the hell is that place? I think it was Red Robin, near the area. We had been there before. We've had some great service. We've also had some crappy service in the past. We had been there many times. We had a great server this time, and she just wasn't her usual self, right? She's like, I'm just not feeling good. I'm not feeling good. Can we just go home? I'm not feeling good. So I was sitting there packing up the food, and it took me a little while to pack it up. She had finished doing what she's doing. She got up and started walking towards the door before I was even done packing the food and ready to leave. I'm like, this is all adding up now. This is very, very unusual behavior, right? I'm like, okay. Go back to my place. We'll lay in bed. We'll make a little loving. It'll all be good, right? We never had an issue in that department, right? So we're laying in my bed, and, I go to get close to her, and she kind of turned away a little bit, so I tried again to get close to her. And she said, you know what? I can't, I just need some space. I'm not feeling that good. I told you I'm not feeling good earlier. I'm going to go and sleep on the couch. She gets out of my bed, goes to sleep on the couch. I'm sitting there in my bed. I'm like, what the fuck is going on here, right? What's going on here, right? And couldn't sleep. I'm like, I'm not gonna drag this on. I'm gonna find out what's going on. So 10 minutes later, I got out of my bed and I went to go and talk to her, and I said, can you let me know what's going on? I just want to be there for you. What's really going on so we can talk about it. She's like, you know what? I'm just gonna go. I'm just gonna go. Right? And she gets up, walks out, and I followed her out. I didn't try to stop her because you can't. I was like, are you sure you don't want to talk about this? I don't even know what I did. I mean, like, please let me know what I did. So if I made a mistake, I can apologize. But I knew I didn't make any mistake. I didn't know what was going on. I said, just please text me when you get home that you made it safe. That's what we used to do, right? She gets home, texts me home safely. And I didn't respond to her. I didn't respond to her because I wanted to see if she would get back to me the next day or in a couple of days, or to try to talk about what happened. I haven't heard from her since to this day. 1 year. 1 year. I met her family. She met mine. I've been to her family, vacation home, her mother's home, her father's home. Okay? I've introduced her to my family. The intimacy was great. I did not overly pursue her. She would always reach out to me. I was never needy or desperate or weak or insecure. I was focused on my business during the daytime, and so was she, and she would reach out to me at night. We would talk. I never pushed her, never forced a damn thing, never did one thing wrong. I'm not saying I'm perfect. Sometimes guys say stupid things, but that's the extent of if I ever said something wrong by mistake. People talk smack at times, right? But as far as the way I treated her well. And she treated me well too. And the affection was there from the very beginning to the very end. All of a sudden, everything was great for 1 year. And it took one day, and she put on the brakes. Before I go on the break, why do I think she did that? What do I think happened? Well, this is why I talk with women before I meet them. I want to hear their story. I want to hear, because this woman, when I met her, she was 38, almost 39. And I was, 44, almost 45. Good age difference, right? She had moved away to Oregon And she dated a guy for, I think it was 10 years. And it was a guy that was very happy to be with initially. And then he was running a very successful, I think, like ski shop or something like that, or sporting goods store. Things were going well. Then all of a sudden, things started going south. I think that was when the economy crashed, and then things started going south after that. And she had also told me at one point she was even pregnant with his baby, but she had a miscarriage. And then after that, she just didn't want to have kids, so she got an IUD after that, and she's had one ever since. Now, I'm sharing this because I'm trying to figure out what the hell happened. I did nothing wrong. How did this go from, 100% being there for a year straight to zero? Like from 100% to zero. Typically, women fall out of love slowly over the course of time, right? This happened out of the blue, right? She had also told me that she was in a codependent relationship with this guy. I said, codependency is not good. She goes, I've struggled with codependency. But when I was with her, there was no codependency happening. Now, maybe this guy was a different type of guy that was dependent on her, and maybe she liked something about him, or maybe the fact that she'd been with him for a long time. Because when women are with a guy for 5 or 10 years, even if it doesn't work out, right? They're more emotionally bonded with that guy. The emotional attachment is much stronger with someone they've been with for 5 or 10 years than someone they've been with for 1 year, even if that year was an amazing year with a guy like me, right? So what do I think happened? I think the ex-boyfriend came into the picture. I think the ex-boyfriend probably reached out to her, and she told him that I'm seeing somebody. And I think that when he reached out to her, maybe he said he had changed and he sounded better, right? When she reached out to her, she probably contemplated in her head, what do I do? I got this great guy I'm with who is good to me. I got this great guy that's been good to me. And sex is always great. We go hiking. We go to nice hotels, nice dinners. We have nice conversations. He's not codependent. He's not needy. He's not insecure. He's not weak, etc., right? And then my ex reaches out to me. I've been through a lot with him. We have an emotional bond of 10 years, right? I was pregnant with his baby, and I lost the baby, but she didn't really want kids anyway. But, she said she accidentally got pregnant, but I'm like, come on. We know how women get pregnant. When there's no birth control, no condom, you're just doing it like that, there's always a chance, right? But I get it, right? Okay. So she's probably thinking about it. She's probably thinking about, which way do I go? I really like Eli, but I really have a lot of history with this guy. And this guy probably was pretty persuasive and probably hit some emotional triggers that made her think about giving him a chance, right? So what do I think she did? She came out to see how it would feel to be around, to see if the emotional bond with me was stronger than the emotional bond she had with a guy she was with, I believe, for 10 years, that she said was codependent on her and she was codependent on him and had other issues, right? When a woman is behaving that way, folks, out of the blue, like if everything is great and you as a guy know you've done nothing wrong, and a woman shows up on one of your dates, whether she's at your place spending the night or you're going out or a combination of both, and she's that distant, it's because there's another guy in the picture, and typically it's a guy from her past that she's been with longer and has a stronger emotional bond with that guy. And boom, that was that. Like I said, haven't heard from her since. I'm not blaming myself. I did nothing wrong. Right? I'm not a fool. I had a good time with her. I enjoyed her company for the year I was with her. I would have loved it for it to continue. But she didn't want to. But the thing at the end of the day is this, is that she's from my generation, Generation X. I think she's like 42 now, or she's like 42 now or something like that. Generation X, right? And I would have appreciated her telling me that she was breaking up with me and telling me why, right? That's not what women do nowadays. What women do is they wait for you to do like what I did. You know, rub their knee, try to get intimate with them in the same ways we've been doing like clockwork for a year, right? I think she was waiting on purpose for me to try to do that. And she said that she wasn't feeling well, so she could have an excuse to just walk out and not have to tell me the real reason why she can't be with me anymore. She felt guilty. That's why it's so difficult for guys to commit to women nowadays, because you can do everything right and even have chemistry with the woman. And sometimes if an ex walks into the picture, they'll go back to that guy. Now here's the thing. What happens in that situation typically, because it's happened to many guys, woman just walks out on you for no reason, done nothing wrong. She goes back to the ex that she has a stronger emotional bond with. And then after that, let's say they break up, then she comes back to you. I'll tell you this, I'm not expecting her to come back, and I don't even know if I'd ever give her a chance again if she came back or not. Probably not. But here's the thing. I bet this woman is still with this guy, and I bet you at some point that relationship will fail again, because if it failed once after being with a guy for 10 years, at some point this guy is going to go back to being who he really is. Maybe this guy temporarily fixed something or whatever, right? But at some point, this guy's going to go back to his old ways of who he really is. And once that happens, she's going to leave him again like she did the first time. And guess what's going to happen at that point? That's when the epiphany is going to hit her or any other woman in that situation. And she's going to be, I made a mistake with Eli. I wonder if Eli's still single or he would even talk with me, right? So I'm just sharing that, folks, because that's what happens. I'm not upset about it. Yeah, did it hurt a little bit? Sure. Not as bad as the Dana situation. I had a much more stronger emotional bond with Dana than this other woman, the activity partner, but it was getting there. I took it a lot slower with her, even though we had fun and we were intimate and all that. You know, I didn't get as emotionally attached to her, but I did like her and I did enjoy her company, and I was hoping it was going to move forward. So anyway, folks, we are at 1 hour and 43 minutes. SIF USMO is back. You missed an amazing story, bro. You're going to have to go back and watch the replay. I'm going to take a second break right now before I share my final story of the second woman. Because let me tell you, I'll give you a hint. It's not the exact same outcome, but it's pretty similar. And you're going to want to hear this. And this woman was also from the East Bay area near the Oakland area, Oakland-Berkeley area. Which I thought was pretty cool because I love the hiking trails in that area. Some of the best hiking trails are in the Oakland Hills, right? There's a park called Tilden Park. It's a beautiful park with some 8-mile trails, a couple of them. And some other trails in the area that I used to love to go. There's one on the campus of UC Berkeley called the Clementine Trail. No, not the Clementine Trail. That's at the American River in Folsom near the Sacramento, the foothills of the Sacramento area. It's called the Strawberry Hill Trail or something like that. It's a 6-mile out and back hike through the campus of UC Berkeley through the wooded area. There's an area that is like being out in the woods in the middle of the campus. So it's pretty awesome. But anyway, let me cue up some more royalty-free YouTube music, and then we're going to come back for another 20, 30 minutes. This next story won't take as long. But yeah, this woman and I split up in, it was November of 2019, a year later, after we met November 2018. And then August 2018 was when Dana and I split up. So when I get back, we're leaving off from November of 2019. Okay. All right. Let's cue up some royalty-free YouTube music, and we're gonna enter back with a bang. Do-do-do-do. 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 One more. Oh, yeah. All right, folks, music is all queued up. I'm going to step away for another 8 to 10 minute break. Then we've got the second story coming up before we wrap it up. And we're going to re-enter the show with a blast. So stick around, round. We'll be right Oh yeah, we're back. Wait for it. Here we go. Yeah, Ethan Mixel, double helix. Yeah. Yeah! Energy up! At 4:50 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, 1:50 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Oh, he's going crazy. He's lost it. Yeah! Oh, yeah! Woo! All right. Time for the coach to settle down. Holy smokes. That took a lot out of me. That song always takes a lot out of me. All right. Welcome back to the third and final segment of Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. The Late Night with Coach Eli edition, live here on the Coach Eli Television Network, primarily broadcasting live on YouTube at youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. That's youtube.com/Life Coach Eli. We're also simulcasting live on Facebook and D Live. And if you want to get everything, more than just the YouTube simulcasts that are broadcasted from my studio on Facebook and D Live, you're going to have to come over to YouTube. Subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications, and you will get great content, pre-recorded videos, members-only content, and even exclusive live streams from mobile like I did earlier today and the day before that you won't get on Facebook or D Live. So subscribe, bang the bell, select the notifications. The link to my YouTube channel is in the Facebook description. If you're on D Live, I've shared it in the chat. If you're already on YouTube, hey, congratulations, you're here. So that's it. Now, let's let Ethan Mixel bring us back into the third and final segment. Here we go. Wow. Man. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be able to sustain this amount of energy at my age. I'm getting up there. Gosh, I'm literally like just over 2 years away from hitting the big 5-0. And I still feel like an 18-year-old. Man, I've got that energy. I've got that energy still, folks. Anyway. All right, folks. Let's get back to it here because we've been on for an hour and 58 minutes. We're about to hit 2 hours. I didn't expect to be on this long, but I really wanted to share these stories here to help as many people as possible. I also, just wanted to, explain everything that's been really going on the last couple of years. There are a lot of people that have been following me for years that are good people. They're non-trollish drama people. But hey, even if the trolls and the haters, get a good laugh at this or, whatever, right? It's all good. Hopefully you're enjoying the show and you're entertained by it and you're learning something as well. More so, I'm hoping you're learning something. But we've been discussing, I've dated two women since my ex. Why? I haven't talked about it. And my story, one more time, I've dated two women since my ex. Why I haven't talked about it and my story. If you go back to the first segment, when it goes to a replay, you're going to hear why I haven't talked about this until now. Then during the second segment, I shared the first of two stories regarding a woman I dated for a year that I started dating about 3 months after my ex and I split up, and how it abruptly ended. And now, in the third segment, I'm about to get to the second woman I've dated since my ex, and how it ended in a similar way. Not exactly the same, but a similar way. And actually, it's probably pretty similar, to be honest with you. So let's get right to it, okay? let's get right to it. So we left off with this activity partner. We didn't even split up. She just walked out and ghosted. Didn't even say a thing. We're at November 2019. Now, I didn't gain any weight. I haven't gained weight since I lost the weight after I had gained it being, in the relationship with Dana. I'm not blaming Dana for my weight gain. It just happened. All right, it's my fault, right? I made a vow to myself to never, ever get to that point again. So after this activity partner just walked out, and I haven't heard from her since, and it has now been, it's nearing on almost 2 years. I was back on Match.com, and it was just very difficult to find a good woman. It's very difficult to find a good woman nowadays because of the way things are. I've shared many reasons why in some past shows. I'm not going to get into that again. I'm sure I'll talk about it more so in the future. But, if you've tried to date in this modern world, this modern crazy digital world of dating apps and all that stuff, and this modern world of women being liberated and independent and all that stuff, it's very challenging. So when you find someone, and you get along and it just works, it's like you want to make it work because you just don't want to go through that whole process again, right? But here I was again at that point, right? So I went on to Match almost immediately after this woman walked out. I just wasn't going to wait. Like, whatever, it is what it is, right? And because the emotional attachment wasn't as, I'm not saying I wasn't emotionally attached to her or she wasn't to me. I really did like this woman that I called the activity partner. But the attachment wasn't as strong as it was with Dana. So it was a little bit easier to get over. I wouldn't say it was totally easy, but it was easier. Okay? So about 3 months after that, we're looking at, actually not even, I think it was a little bit longer than that. I think it was 4 or 5 months after that. This was right before COVID hit, right? And this was 2020. We're in 2020. And actually, if I remember correctly, I think this was towards the summer of 2020. So it had been about 5 or 6 months since, the activity partner and I, all of a sudden stopped seeing each other. And the activity partner, I mean, she was pretty cute. She was a little bit thick, but she wasn't overweight. She was cute. I'd say she was about 5'3". I'd say about 135 pounds, 140 pounds. She's a little bit thick, but she was cute. And I was attracted to her, and I enjoyed her company and the intimacy and all that. This woman, I sent her a message on Match, and she got back to me. And she showed a lot of excitement. I remember messaging her too, because she had a great profile. She was looking for something real and genuine. And this woman was really, really cute. I mean, she was Latin. Latin. She was born here. Her family came here from there. And I'd say she was about 5'5". I'd say about maybe 125 to 130 pounds, maybe 132. I mean, she was very, very cute, and she was slender, but she wasn't like anorexic slender, but she wasn't thick either. She was a beautiful woman. And, she just really liked my profile. She said, I just get a good feeling about you. I've been doing a lot of personal development on myself, and I really am ready to meet a good guy, and I just want to talk. Like, what's your number, and are you free for a call right now? She's like, yeah. We talked on the phone. We talked for a couple of hours. You don't look that old, bro? Well, I appreciate it, bro. I haven't trimmed my beard in a couple of weeks. So I'm looking a little bit older than I typically do. Got a little bit of gray in here. I got to trim my beard. I'm going to do it tomorrow and then use my Just for Men. But I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. I do what I can to take care of myself as best as possible, dude. I appreciate it. So yeah, she was really nice. And she shared her story with me about her ex-husband. And then she had a 12-year-old daughter that she's been raising very well, shared custody with her ex-husband. And, her ex-husband, she just fell out of love with him, and, it just ended up not working out. Then her ex-husband remarried another woman. Now, so we talked, and it was great. And I told her, I said, let's, what we should do. I just get a really good feeling about you, and I just want to hang out. And, do you like weekend getaways? You like hiking? Oh, I love hiking. I love this and that, right? Sometimes you can just tell when a woman is into you and she's being submissive and she's not being resistant, right? But you also have to, be realistic and look at if she's, just being too compliant. There could be something else wrong too, right? So I told her, I said, you know what? Why don't we just meet one of these nights? I'll come out. She lived near the Oakland, Berkeley area as well, like in the hills, nice area. And she had told me, she had a good job. And she had also told me that it was funny with her. She told me that, she was in, she was a consultant. I forgot what type of consulting that she did, like some type of business consulting, right? And she had told me she wasn't happy with her work because her work made her work with a client that she felt belittled her, right? And was trying to one-up her, right? And this is a client that owns a company that she's supposed to go in there and help, make the company more profitable and things like that. But what ended up happening, what I figured out happened with her, I said, look, you're going in there and you're getting paid regardless of what happens. You're going in there and you're helping this guy, but he's also, the owner or the manager or whatever he was of the company, and he's going to share his feedback too. And I think that you felt intimidated by him. She goes, yeah, and I'm trying to figure out why. I'll tell you why. She was a very submissive woman, but she was also, she wasn't like 100% submissive, but she was like 70% submissive, which is great. I like a woman that has a little dominance and confidence too. That's a good balance, right? I said, this is what it all boils down to. I started talking with her about the masculine versus feminine energy thing I talk about on my channel. And I said that you're having a power struggle with this guy because of the way the world is. You're a woman, you've been liberated, you're independent, right? And, you're consulting a male manager, a guy that's probably pretty attractive and stuff. And she goes, yeah, he was pretty attractive, but he's not my type, and I'm not, I don't look at clients like that. I'm thinking to myself, all right, whatever, right? But she felt, I said, I think you feel intimidated by him because he's a guy and because you're a woman working in a supposed man's world, right? And you just want to be treated equally and fairly. She goes, I never thought of it that way, but I think you're right. Wow, right? And I told her what I did, the coaching and stuff like that. And I'd even sent her many links to my live streams and stuff like that. She would watch. She really loved my stuff. Like, she was very supportive of it, right? And so it really opened up her eyes to the whole situation. I just told her, look, go there and you do your job. And if you work for, if your consulting company has a contract with a male client or somebody like that is trying to do most of the work, you do what you need to do and just make your money and just smile and don't let it get to you, right? So, and she had also told me, she goes, I've done a lot of work on myself since my ex-husband, and I'm into personal development, and I've read The Secret, like I saw in your match profile and all of that. And it was a great conversation. Like I still believe she's a really nice lady to this day, right? So what happened? Her and I, we dated for, I think it was either 3 months or just under 3 months. I told her, I said, let's meet after that first phone call. Let's just meet very briefly, like at a Safeway parking lot near your area. Many people have heard my Safeway parking lot, meeting place. And they're like, oh, that's not safe, this and that. It depends on the situation, right? I suggested, her to meet me at a Safeway near her area the next night. And let's see how it goes. And if it's all there when we see each other, then why don't we just go away for the weekend? I know we just met each other, but don't you feel like getting away? I feel like getting away. Like, and it had been like 6 months since, 6 or 7 months since I stopped seeing her. The activity partner just ran off unexpectedly and didn't say anything, right? She's like, that sounds good. What time do you want to meet? And I met her. The next day around 9:30 p.m. at the Safeway parking lot. She sat in my car for an hour. We had a great conversation. I went to go kiss her, and she was all over it. She loved it. Felt nice, right? And it was more than just that, right? Then we went away that weekend. Had an amazing time. And one of my favorite places to go away on a weekend that's fairly local to where I'm at in the Bay Area, but not in the Bay Area. I like getting out of the Bay Area when I go away because I want to feel like I'm out of town. Because I love the Bay Area, but sometimes you just got to get away, right? Okay. So made plans to go to the foothills of the Sacramento area in a town called near a town called Auburn. Got a nice hotel suite for the weekend. Went hiking at the American River, which is it's actually in Auburn. And, it runs through many cities, but the area I like to go hiking at is near Auburn. There's a trail there called the Clementine Trail I mentioned earlier. It goes right along the American River, and it's beautiful. It's like 4 or 5 miles out and back. But there are other trails there too that are longer. You could spend a whole day out there, enjoy the beauty, and get in really good shape. Get a good workout and a good hike in, and breathe in those endorphins, and you feel great, right? And it was a great time. And then we actually, I wanted to take her to dinner to one of my favorite restaurants that one of my favorite restaurants that used to be in the Bay Area, but not anymore. It's a restaurant called Max's Restaurant. It's a chain of restaurants, I believe, in Northern California that was started like 20, 25 years ago. They were very popular. And then they all started closing down. We had one here in Redwood City, and they were all over the Bay Area and all over Northern California. And one of the few Max's restaurants that's still open is in Auburn, right off of Interstate 80. So I wanted to take her there. I said, have you heard of Max? I'm like, we used to have one, in our area too, and they've all closed down. Well, there's one here in Auburn. How about we go there, right? And that Max's Restaurant is always the restaurant I would stop at. Like whenever I'd go to like Lake Tahoe or Reno, I would, on the way back, it's about the halfway point. I'd stop there and eat, right? And now, if you haven't heard, the Lake Tahoe area has been evacuated because all those fires nearby are threatening the area. It's pretty sad. Like, typically, during this time of the year, South Lake Tahoe, has over 100,000 people there, and it's not the biggest town, but they have a lot of casinos, and it's just a beautiful area. It's a highly desirable place to live, and it's pretty much just about as expensive to live there as it is to live here in the San Francisco Bay Area. So we go to Max's restaurant, and the night manager, or the manager there, I could tell it was the manager because he was wearing more of a suit type of outfit, but he had his suit jacket off and just a nice shirt and pants, right? And this guy, came and started talking with us, and he was taking our order, and he was just really friendly. So this woman and I, she's 42 years old, really nice lady, really cute, really friendly. The manager comes over, we start talking, and the manager talked with us for like 20 minutes till our food came out. And then, every now and then he would come back and talk with us, right? And I'm like, this is great. And it wasn't really that busy because it was during COVID time in the summer of 2020. It was right when things were starting to open back up. And you were allowed to, you had to wear masks, and you could take the masks off the table, and they were distancing people, in the dining room area, right? So yeah, it was an amazing time. It was nice that things were opening up, and we were having a wonderful time there. And this manager was amazing. And I think our dinner came out to about $70 or something. She didn't really eat a whole lot. She's pretty thin, and she doesn't eat a lot. But I always order a little more to take some food back to the hotel, right? But $70, and with service like that, I just threw down a $30 tip. Like, that's like over 30 or 35% tip, right? Excellent service is 20%. Average service is 15%. When somebody takes care of me in that way, like the manager did, and the service was that great, I will pay twice the normal top tip for that, right? We had a great time, went back to the room, and had some fun, great fun, spent the weekend together. And to make a long story short, we would go away a couple times a month. I took her to some pretty amazing hikes that I've been to before in Northern California. We did a lot of, traveling around. And we even came back a second time to that Auburn area to do some other hikes in the area. And while we were there, I was saying, hey, how would you like to go back to Max's again and see if our buddy is there, right? I forgot to mention, the manager there was a very nice gay man, right? And, he even told us, he goes, I'm gay, and, some people scrutinize it. And I told him, I said, you know what, dude, I have a lot of respect for you. I said, dude, you're happy to be who you are, and I can tell you don't let anyone, get in the way of what makes you happy. He's like, yeah, you're right, man, but it wasn't always like that. I had to deal with a lot of stuff. I'm like, dude, amazing service, man. We're going to be definitely back. And so when we were back in the area about a month and a half later or so, or whenever it was, a couple months later, we wanted to go back there and eat and see if our buddy was there. He was there again, and he talked with us the whole time. It was incredible, right? And, you're having fun. I enjoyed this woman's company. She was cute. The intimacy was great. The conversation was great, right? We're doing fun things. She's a talkative woman. She doesn't talk too much or too little. The conversation flows with her. She's more submissive than dominant, but she's not submissive to the point of where she's just too submissive. She was a well-balanced woman, right? A well-balanced woman, right? So the last time we went away on a weekend trip, I think was about 2.5 months into this relationship, whatever you want to call it, right? So it's still early on. We're driving back, and she gets a text because she had to take her daughter. She would take her daughter when she'd go away to her ex-husband's place, and her ex-husband has been remarried with a new woman, and I think they have another kid together, right? And she was telling me that he's just he's just a really difficult guy to deal with, right? She was trying to tell me something, but she was just telling me he's a really difficult guy to deal with, and he's a good father, but he just doesn't like certain things or whatever, right? I'm just trying to figure out what's going on. I'm like, here we go. Here's where this thing starts going south, right? You got the exes coming back into the picture, right? And these women have a stronger emotional bond with the exes, right? And they throw away a perfectly good, healthy relationship to go back into the toxicity of the ex, right? Because they have a stronger emotional bond with them, right? And plus, in this case, that's the father of her kid, right? So I drop her off, right? A few days later, she calls me up and says, I need to talk with you about something. Something just came up, and I need to talk with you about something. And, let me know when you have some time. I said, let's do it tonight. So I got on the phone with her, and she said, well, I just found out something, and I want to know what you think about it, because I really like what we have, and I enjoy what we have. But found out that my ex-husband and his wife are going to be moving to Texas in a few 2-3 months. And I'm considering moving to Texas as well with my family. My mother lives on this area, and she would move out there with me, and my daughter would move out there so she could be closer to her father. And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, wow, here we go. What's going on here, right? And so she goes, we can keep this going. Once I move out there, I can fly out to see you once per month, and we can make it work. And I told her, I'm like, come on. You really think that's feasible? I know you're saying that now because you feel guilty. I said, are you going for sure? She's like, well, I have a trip planned with my mother, and I'm taking some time off of work. I'm taking time off in a while. I have a trip planned with my mother this weekend. I'm renting a car, and we're going to drive out there. And I have some family out there, and we're going to go see how it is to be out there, look at places and stuff. And so she goes, do you think that's going to work for you? I said, well, how about we reconnect when you get back? I go, how long are you going to be out there for? She goes, 2 weeks, right? She goes, I can also call you when I get out there. We can talk. We can keep in touch, right? So she drove out there 3 days after she left. I sent her a text. I think this was like during Thanksgiving. and wished her a happy Thanksgiving and this and that. And she wished me one back as well. And then I told her, I said, yeah, just let me know when you have some time to talk. We can talk. Or if you want to wait till you get back, that's fine too. I said, I know you've got things to do, right? I didn't hear back from her. A couple of weeks went by, and she was supposed to be back, and she probably was back. And I waited. I didn't hear back from her, right? Sent her a message 2.5 weeks after she had left for the trip. She was probably back for about half a week. I was looking to see if she was going to reach out. I said, I haven't heard from you. Are you okay? And are you back home safe? And she goes, I'm back home now. And that is the last message I ever got back from her. I sent her one more text after that. I said, so would you like to talk and see where things go? Let me know, right? I assume what happened was after she sent me that text, she probably just blocked me from my phone, ghosted me. So what do I think happened here? I think something had to do with her ex coming back into the picture. Maybe her ex isn't happy with his wife and wants to get back with her. She was telling me that she doesn't want her daughter to be away from her father, which is why she wants to move there. I can kind of understand that, but I think that was BS. I think the truth of the matter, I think one of two things either happened. One of two things either happened with this woman. I think that her ex got back in the picture, was divorcing the wife, or maybe he was never married to her and they split up and she's getting back with him or got back with him. Or the other possibility I was thinking of is the guy. This is why I always talk with women at the beginning, and I'm open to hearing their stories about everything, because when these ghostings happen nowadays afterwards, you can kind of go back to the beginning, rewind, and figure out what they probably did, right? It was either her ex-husband getting back in the picture and they worked things out, or that guy that she was complaining to me about regarding her being a consultant for his company through her company by a contract. Maybe she was intimidated by that guy because she liked him, and maybe something came out of that. It was one or the other. The point I'm trying to make is this. I had great times with her. She had great times with me. She was very nice. She hadn't introduced me to her daughter or her mother yet. It was going to happen, and I hadn't introduced her to my family yet. It was still a little early on. But she did, when we went to Safeway one day before going hiking to get some stuff, she's like, oh, there's my friend. Let's go to my friend's line. She's a checker here. I want to introduce you to my friend, right? This woman also offered to pay for many things. And I wouldn't let her because I didn't care. I was just happy to get out of the Bay Area and, break the monotony for a while. So I didn't have a problem paying for stuff. But she even felt so guilty that I would pay for things. She's like, at least let me get you some coffee. Like, you get everything else. It's like, I said, look, I'm an old school guy, right? I'm having a good time with you, and I'm an old school guy, right? Regardless of what happens, I'm enjoying the time right now, and it makes me feel good to be a man. Like, I'm an old school type of guy. Anyway, give me a second here. Hey, Paulie, how you doing? How did you find out about this channel? Curious to know. Interesting. You have some videos on your channel 4 weeks ago. So anyway, yeah, she introduced me to her friend. And she called me, I remember she called me Chico Bello, which means that's my boy or something, right? I have to remember. Let's see. Let me see here. Chico Bello. Or something like that. Huh. Like cute boy or handsome boy. Handsome boy. Yeah, she called me Chico Bello to her friend, right? And so here's the thing. I'm going to wrap this up in a few, folks. We are at 2 hours and 31 minutes, almost 2 hours, just turned 2 hours and 32 minutes. The YouTube live streaming server, the internet's working beautifully right now. No disconnects. That's great. She sounds Latina, LOL. I love Latina. Oh, dude, let me tell you, man. This woman she was really nice, dude. And she was very, very, she wasn't one of those women that sleeps around. Now, you never know, right? But she wasn't one of those women that would, she was really into me, and she loved being intimate with me. And she would make out with me on the hiking trail. Like, whenever I wanted to make out with her, she loved it, right? And, yeah, no, it was all good, bro. I think there was something really there, even with both these women. The bottom line is when these exes come into picture that have been with these women for over 10 years, right? Or married and have kids with them, right? No matter how good of a guy you are, how good your emotional bond is with that woman, it doesn't compete to the strength of the emotional bond they had with these guys they were with for 10 years. It's almost like these guys are, I'm just going to say it, right? I'm just going to say it, right? It's like they're cock blocking you, right? I cannot stand guys that get so jealous when their ex gets with a good guy, they find out about it, and then they cock block you, right? That's the most annoying thing, right? These guys are very manipulative. They know what they're doing. But the women still go back to the guy that they have the strong emotional bond with, even if they were a codependent guy or an abusive guy or something was wrong. But what's going to happen at the end of the day? These guys are going to go right back to being the way they were. And eventually these women will be leaving them again. And then they'll be like, oh, that is the worst. Cock blocking? SIFUSMO? Dude, there's nothing worse than that, right? Guys that are CBs, bro, I'm not going to say it because then I'll get demonetized. Those guys need to be taken down to the desert, man. I'll tell you that. The CBers, they're the worst, man. But yeah, no, her and I had a lot of fun, dude. Very affectionate, and she took very good care of herself, very clean woman, smelled good, nice hair. This woman, for 42 years old, she looked like she was like 28 or 30. And I look younger than my age too, humbly speaking. I know you mentioned it earlier. We were a cute couple. We were a good couple, right? Both healthy, both fit, both in our 40s, looking like we're in our 30s. Great sexual energy, great conversation. I firmly believe both these two women I was with were totally into me. I was into them. But they ghosted. They never even broke up with me. Same with this one. The reason why women don't break up with you anymore nowadays is because when they know there's no reason to break up with you besides the ex coming back in the picture, they don't want to hurt your feelings or risk being in the bad position of you getting angry, right? Which I don't get angry. I just let it go. But it sucks. It sucks, dude. So, yeah, that's my story, folks. Regarding, I've dated 2 women since my ex. Why I haven't talked about it, right? And my story, like I just said a second ago. So I hope you folks learned something from this. This is why guys don't commit. It's not that good women are not out there. There are good women out there, but even the good women, I've met a couple since my ex. It's not that the good women are not out there. It's the fact that these good women are easily distracted by the ex, right? They can be easily swayed because of the past emotional bond. That's now happened to me twice, back to back, since my ex. My ex, on the other hand, was open and honest with me and gave me the closure. That's why I respect Dana more than any other woman I've been with. I'm not saying that I will never respect a woman as much as her or more. I'm just saying I respect Dana at that level because despite what happened, that woman was always honest, straightforward, and real with me. That's why I respect her at that level to this day, right? I'm over her no matter what anyone from the past thinks, but I still respect and appreciate how she handled the breakup compared to how these other 2 women handled it, right? They just ghost you. They're gone. That's it. So, SIFUSMO, I will respond to your friend request later tonight or tomorrow morning, and I will reach out to you. I will send you some voice notes through Messenger. You get Messenger, right, if you're still around. I'll send you some voice messages on Facebook, and then we'll connect and get that live stream going. Let me know when you want to do it, bro. You want to do it this week? I'm open, bro. I'm totally open. All right, everyone. I'm going to get on out of here. I got to get some rest. Let me just check real quick before I go off the air if at least the 1080p version of that 4K 60 frame per second video I uploaded has processed. Let me check. Processing HD version. Oh, Jesus Christ. The 1080p 60 frame per second version is still processing. But it shows in the back end. It shows video quality. SD is processed, and then the HD and the 4K emblems. This is in the back end of YouTube Studio under video details. And they're still flashing and processing. Well, hopefully it'll be ready by tomorrow morning. But stick around for that video at some point tomorrow. And if it takes longer, I'll update you folks on the stream tomorrow. Again, tomorrow at some point, probably from a Walking with Purpose stream from a different location in Red Morton Park. I'm going to be talking about, if you're a guy and you've been friends with a woman for a long time and there's an opportunity for you to date her romantically, is that a good thing to do? Is that a good decision to make? And if you do take that chance, what risk are you taking, right? How's that going to affect you and the friendship down the road? I'll be sharing more about that tomorrow. But for now, folks, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you to SIFUSMO for being here. Thank you to, who else was here earlier? Lewis Fuller. SIFUSMO says, yes, I do. Cool. I'll message you tomorrow. Thank you to SIFUSMO for being here. Thank you to Lewis Fuller for being here. And anyone else that was watching behind the scenes. And if you're watching this on the replay, thank you for being here as well. With that being said, have yourselves a great rest of your day, night, whatever it is in your neck of the woods, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye. Bye.